there again. Had three or four goes at this. I don't quite know what's happening today. It's been a very strange day. It's my birthday. I won't say how old I am. I'm older than I look on a good day. So it's my birthday today, and I wanted to talk about Beltane, which is the spring festival. So, but firstly, just to say a little bit about my birthday, because I've been on my own all day, not seen anybody, spoken to anybody, and really had no birthday cards. So even my daughter forgot until I wrote and complained. And it's silly, isn't it? It really is silly. I mean, but I'm not sure it's even my birthday because I didn't get here until I was 7 years old. I was a walk-in, and during an operation, the soul that was in this body left and I came in. It's a very complex subject. So really, although I say I'm a Taurian, it's my body that's Taurian, and my spirit is something else, which I think it may be Leo. So hence, I'm a very complex person. So I try not to get into it, but all the same, with this self-isolation and birthdays and everything else, and you do need someone to sort of talk to. So when the birthday card came from a healing centre, I thought, well, at least God hasn't forgotten. And so it's true, isn't it? I mean, it's ego stuff, isn't it, in our heads, really. I know that in theory, but it still doesn't help when you feel you want someone to support you and say happy birthday. So, hence, anyway, I did overcome it. I ordered an afternoon tea from a local delicatessen, had a nice cake and a cup of tea, and had it in the garden, and then went for a little walk by the river, which was really lovely. It's nice round here, and everything's coming into bloom. Everything's colourful, yellows, and all the little leaves just coming out of their buds, still wet, very soft, and it's a lovely time of year, really. And of course, Beltane is on the 1st of May, so I'm going to talk about that a little bit. Um, yeah, they say it's a pagan festival. I don't go in for these descriptive words because to me, everything is one anyway. God's in all things, however you see it or perceive it. But I know just after I left my husband, many, 30 years ago, I was invited to a Beltane event, celebration, and I didn't know what it was. And when I found out what it was, I went into such a conflict. Ridiculous, really. Such a conflict. I thought, well, and I am obviously, well, I wouldn't say I was religious, but I'm a spiritual person. I thought, will it be okay? Will God mind? And all these thoughts went through my head. I guess Catholics are a bit like that. They worry about things, whether they should or shouldn't. And I think I'm now gone past shoulds or shouldn'ts. But at the time, I was a bit concerned about whether it would be against cosmic law or whatever, which is, well, we're learning all the time. So I thought, well, I'll go for it. No harm can come to me. It's a celebration of spring, and I love the earth spirit, so I decided to go for it. So I got to this, it was outdoors actually, it was a beautiful event, it really was very beautiful because we made garlands from flower gardens, what the girls did, and then they made a fire, and we did a maple, because of course Beltane, it's all about, well, it's about spring and the maypole, and we have a goddess for the lady goddess. Well, it would be a lady, you know what I mean, it's a goddess for spring. So we have that, and it's a fire festival, so you had the fire, and there's all sorts of different kind of celebrations that people decide to take on at this time of year. But it was a really beautiful sunny day, and we all had these coloured ribbons to go around the apple tree, and we did a real mopel. The colours are beautiful, and apparently the farmers of that particular field say they have their best apples. Because we've given it a bit of treatment. So we had the cakes and the ale, and we had the dancing around and everything else. It was really quite beautiful. And nothing happened to me, except, this is a funny thing, I was wearing trousers at the time. And I was leaping over the fire, and someone said, "You've got your trousers undone." So it made a bit of fun, a sense of humour. We had this laughter, and we had our cakes, and we had our ale, and it was a really good day. So that's the 1st of May. I was going to just leave it there, but I've only done 4 minutes, so I'll go into a little bit about the Beltane, not Beltane. Just let's have a comma, a pause, before I start on the next thing. because it was we had apparently, I think it was 2 days ago, there was a Stargate opening. Now I don't. I read these on the internet. I get the feelings, but I don't really understand them. So it was quite a powerful day, and I've had lots of personal healings, little things that one knows about. So I suppose it's been quite a tricky time for the last couple of days, and today really. So I hope I will come through it. This is why I'm doing a video, because I know they cheer me up as well as hopefully somebody else. I like to pass on information, but it helps me because I know I get into my higher bit, and that brings me a sense of self-worth. I want to read a little thing out here as well, because I felt very down this morning when my daughter, I know she's in New Zealand and she's busy. I try and make allowances because we're all going through difficult times. But your mother's birthday, I think, is quite important. And I didn't have anything, not a phone call, not a card, nothing. So I did write and say, hey, it's my birthday, and so she's going to put something in my bank to buy some flowers. But anyway, I came across this saying, and I think what I do, I get very down when people are unkind or whatever. Mine, I haven't got a lot of self-worth, I suppose. I'm trying. But it's true. It says here, I don't know where I got it from. It says, make sure you don't start seeing yourself through the eyes of those who don't value you. I think that's quite a good saying, because we do tend to, if we get upset or someone rejects us or whatever, we think there's something wrong with us. And of course there isn't. It's usually their stuff. But of course this New Age teaching says we create everything, and no. And it all gets very complicated. But basically I know we have to look at it and say, well, there's something to learn from this. But likewise, we have to be strong and have our boundaries, and there's nothing wrong with us. That if people choose to be unkind or forget us or reject us or whatever, then we have to somehow strengthen ourselves through that and know that we're still okay. Lesson for the day. So I have to go into the Wesak thing probably again next week. I don't know how long I'm going to have for this. So the Wesak is a time, that's the full moon, the 6th of May. And it's when the Buddha, the Lord Buddha and the Lord Christ, they get together on the inner planes to share an energy, a beautiful energy. I don't quite know technically what it's all about, but I do think it's to uplift humanity, bring us all to a higher consciousness. And it's a beautiful time. And they do this on the inner planes over the plains of Tibet. I was talking about Tibet last time, wasn't I? And I haven't been to the actual festival where they join together, but apparently there's a huge bowl of water, and it's and chanting and beautiful. We wouldn't understand half of it, but likewise there's a place. It's called the I Am University. It used to be run by Dr. Joshua Stone. Now, I used to write to him quite a lot. He's a spiritual teacher that runs the I Am University in Los Angeles. And when I was going through a really, really difficult time, I was having a breakdown actually, and he used to write to me, handwrite letters. Very helpful, kind, loving man. And he died some time ago, and I didn't know he died. And I was still writing to him, getting emails back, and I think that somebody was obviously channeling, but I didn't know. I did get suspicious because it was always the same sort of answers, but he was a lovely man, and he used to run these festivals called Wesak, and at the time of the full moon, and I went over to one of them one day after Mum had died. I had some money, and I went over to this. No, it wasn't Mount Shasta. Mount Shasta. Oh, that's what I want to tell you. I won't go into all the details of the festival because there were speakers, there was music, there was all this. And in one of my earlier videos, I was talking about the dance. And I danced. Not the dance for 7 veils, but I had a lot of attention. It was fantastic. All these drummers. Anyway, so I went over, and the plane was travelling at night, and I sat on a window seat and I watched the full moon. Full moon. I watched it all night because of course we were nearer to it a little bit. And it was just this full moon and the dark sky. It was a really good start to the week. And when I got there, we stayed in log cabins, and it was the people I stayed with weren't well, not the people I would choose to stay with, but anyway. So I'm going to wind up now with a beautiful story. We all need beautiful stories at the minute, and this was a very moving story. Um, when we all went to the, I think it is a mount, it is a mountain, Mount Shasta, but it was Maytime, so I only had summer sandals and summer clothing on, and we went to this mountain that started at the bottom of it, and it was all snow, covered in snow. And I thought, oh dear, I've got summer sandals on, so I thought I can't walk all the way to the top in summer sandals. So I more or less stopped a little way in and found this rock to sit on, which I sat on there just to sort of think really, and it was beautiful. I was I went whizzing back to right to the beginning of time. It felt like that. It's really incredible, a real connection. And apparently, this Mount Shasta is a sacred mountain. I don't know. Oh gosh, I always have to fidget, don't I? It's part of my personality. Do you know, I'm fidgeting all the time. It's not a good sign, a sign you can't hold energy, apparently. Anyway, to get back to this beautiful, sitting on this rock, being whizzing back, and I read somewhere recently that apparently it's a grid for Lemuria. So I'd experienced probably going right back to Lemuria. Very tearful, very beautiful. I've never forgotten it. It was absolutely lovely. So that was my highlight for Wesak week. That was the energies, because you can, when you know about these energies, you can use them and tune into them. I'll try and find a bit more about it so I can talk about it again next week, if you like. I know, I said this last time, I don't know how I'm doing. I don't know. I just feel I've got to do these things, but I'm a bit, it's probably my personality. I don't know, put stuff into it that perhaps I shouldn't. I don't know. It's a shoulds and shouldn't day today, so do forgive me. Anyway, I hope you're all coping with the energies of the time. Beltane next week. Garlands in your hair and jumping over fires. Don't forget to do your trousers up. So I'm going to sign off now. I think I've done, yes, I have done 12 minutes. Hope you're all well and coping. It's a nightmare time. I think, I don't know whether people on their own cope better than people. And I wouldn't like to have a family. I'm in a bungalow. That would drive me nuts. So I suppose solitude is, I don't know, the choices you have. I can't get out of my little car now and then, which is good. So take care, dear ones, and God bless for now. Bye bye.